Whether you are on an adventure or at the downtown cafe, your answers are no more than a sniff away. Dog Training 360's purpose is simple: to teach you why dogs do what they do, as well as the action steps you need to take to have better communication, connection, consistency, and conceivability with your dog. So today it's Shannon and I, and we're kind of the business end of the business, as well as the dog training side, but we want to talk a little bit about something that's new that we're rolling out. There's a lot of reasons why we're doing it, and that is doing virtual lessons and virtual business consulting and virtual group classes and even virtual herding lessons and just a lot of online stuff. And the reason why we're doing it is the demand for time and not being able to have enough time to meet all of our clients' needs, for one, because we're spending a half hour before and after each lesson for driving, and that's an hour that we could have given to a client and getting everybody scheduled in correctly. But one of the things that really triggered, my interest and desire in doing virtual lessons is the amount of time that I've been training. I have developed a really good skill of being able to watch a dog and watch people and be able to talk them through, what's going on as long as I can see it. And so we've had some clients that have been testing with us to see how they would go. And it's just been phenomenal. It's just as if I'm right there because I have the ability to talk people through things and help them understand. And so, one is to free up time that we can get more people in. The other thing also is that we can cater to people across the United States and be able to help them. And that demand for us is increasing a lot. And so, Shannon, you've had some really fun experiences with virtual lessons, if you will.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about that and your experience and how you felt like it went, and it's with your piano lessons.
Yeah, I'm taking virtual piano lessons right now. I've started taking them, I think, in March. I can't remember. Okay. It's been several months.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just Skype with the piano teacher, and she can hear me and say, no, that's not the right note.
Yeah.
She tells me what books to buy, so she has the same books that I do. And then I have a half-hour lesson once a week where we Skype and I practice just like when I was piano lessons when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You have the songs you practice, and then you have your lesson, and the teacher helps you play it better and tells you where you're making a mistake. And she lives in Arizona.
Yeah.
And she has clients all over the world.
Yeah.
Clients in India and all kinds of things. So it's really fun, especially because it saves me time because I don't have to drive to go to the piano lesson, know, and it's at my house. The lesson is at my house.
Right, yeah.
So I use my own stuff that's here, and if I need to go get a drink or whatever, I'm in my own house. So I have another virtual lesson I'm signing up for. It starts on this Wednesday, art. It's an art lesson.
Oh, I like it.
So I'll be doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think it really is leading into, in the busy schedules of people, and just really, being able to be home, I think is a lot. And then also on the side of the instructor, being able to be home and serve more people. And do you find that there's been any hiccups with your lessons that you've found frustrating or that's been challenging?
I haven't. My sister is taking voice lessons from the same teacher.
Okay.
She lives in Washington, and her internet went out.
And your sister's?
Yeah. And so she missed her lesson because she had no internet.
Right.
So that's been the only problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But part of it too is if you have your dog, like say if we're doing a virtual lesson, if you have your dog, you could go to somewhere that has Wi-Fi.
For sure.
And still have your lesson.
Yep.
Or because we teach a lot of dogs even walking out in the world, in the park or whatever, and we are still able to do that with virtual lessons.
Yep.
Not only are you busy, but all our clients are busy too.
Right.
Like that's another thing of scheduling, is just the world is just so busy. Everyone's so busy.
Yep.
So by doing it virtually, it just frees up. Like you can start your lesson right at 9 and you don't think, oh, well, I get off work and I have to go home, or, you know, or I have to drive there. Like, the time you start can be that time, and you don't have to have this time to drive or get somewhere, or because if you have your phone or your iPad or whatever and your dog and a connection, you're pretty much good to go wherever you are. Yeah. If you went on vacation, a lot of our lessons get rescheduled because people are on vacation. Yeah. You could still have your lesson on vacation if you are with your dog. Yeah.
And a lot of people do take their dogs with them. Yeah. And so that would be a great training experience for them. My client that's in Washington that we do virtual lessons with, you know, she kind of, we talk about her schedule, and she's like, I'll be at the horse barn at this time, and I could do a lesson because we're struggling, you know, with my dog when I'm at the barn and her barking all the time at the horses and stuff like that. And so, you know, we just scheduled that around her barn time, that she's already going to be there and that she would normally have taken her dog as well. And so that's been super helpful. We've done one in Home Depot, where there's just been some struggle. I think probably the biggest challenge on my side of things is making sure that you have some kind of harness or something that, you know, if you don't want to set up your tripod so that I can see the whole picture, because going into Home Depot is a little bit more challenging of setting up the tripod. But I had, you know, I had her get a cell phone harness. And so that was easy for me to see the dog. I don't need to see the person to see, because the dog's telling the story anyway for me. And so I can talk the person through, and then having wireless earphones. And that way, you know, we're talking and I can see what's going on. We've done another one where they strapped a cell phone, like to a runner's case. To their legs, so I could see the dog walking. I can see the environment that they're in. Yeah. And she just had her wireless ears on, and it was, you know, it was easy to talk through of, you know, breathe. I can see that dog. This is what I want you to do. This is, so even in behavior cases with leash reactivity, you know, as long as I can see the dog, I can talk you through anything. So, you know, some of the tools that you'll need, and most households have them, and those are not that expensive, and we'll share links on, you know, where to get those, is wireless headphones, some kind of a harness to strap on when we go out and about in the world, and then at home, some kind of a tripod to set up with, and then I'm there, I'm at home talking through everything. I had another lesson with a client in Minnesota that they were instructors in a 4-H. They were 4-H leaders, and they were struggling on how to help the kids teach the dogs the dog had to take a dumbbell from them and hold it for a certain amount of time. Like, that's it. The dog had to reach out and take it and hold it. And so, you know, it was easy for me to grab one of my dogs after we talked through and understood what was going on to show them. And then they had a dog, and then we worked on their dog, so I knew that they were doing the technique correctly. So I have, you know, access to my dogs to show certain things that need to be done. And then as far as technique goes, and then was able to watch them and be successful. And it's really been helpful for their kids and the feedback that I got from them. So, so even, you know, instructors, if you will, I've done, you know, some lessons with to help them understand some concepts or how-tos type of thing. And so it really is moving into that direction of, you know, when people say we need a statue of you or we need to move you in, you know, we can go virtual anywhere. And so if you're nervous about going for that first walk around the park, I'm with you. I'm in your ears, and I'll be able to see, no, if the dog's not ready, let's get out of there. Let's change location. You know, is there a grassier spot that's, you know, less people? But it's been really successful. Yeah. Definitely the internet connection is probably the most important piece to
it has to be good to be able to get through. Yeah. But I think in a lot of cases, doing this virtual lessons is almost better than you being there, because a lot of people will say, my dog doesn't do that when you're here.
Yep.
But the dog doesn't know when you're on the phone.
Right.
So the dog exhibits all the behaviors that the owner's having problems with, but then you're there to help them work through it.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot more effective in some cases, especially like out walking and with the leash reactivity and all those kind of things, where the dog won't exhibit the behaviors when the trainer's there, of course, because they're so perfect for the trainer, right?
Right.
You have the ability to work through it virtually on a level that's different than if we were in your home, and I think that's better. I think that's cool.
Yeah. And I didn't even think about that whole concept too, because it truly happens a lot where now I'm going out hunting for other dogs that would create a reaction from this dog, so I can show the owners what to do. That if they don't know that I'm there, then they're going to be who they are with their owner.
Yeah.
And if they're different, then the owner knows that it's the calming or it's, the presence that I have on them, and that they can feel that on their own, that, oh yeah, I am calmer, or I am, doing things a little bit differently. And so they actually get to experience that without me being there. Makes a huge difference. And I think that there's so much value in that alone, because sometimes it is difficult to train when the dog's great for me. Yeah. And then, but you're trying to teach the person how, and it's not working.
Because we try things all the time, like, oh, Shannon, you go and see what the dog will do for you. Or, let's take him this weird place and see what they'll do. Yeah. And then that's added time. For sure. Because somebody else has to come, or someone else has to bring a dog, or you have to go to a different environment where it's such a more condensed process when we do it virtually.
Right. And I think the great thing that, no other trainer out there offers is we have a full online training course that you get with your virtual lessons so now you get to go back and review some techniques. You can watch videos of people working, of us explaining it over. And so it's not like, oh my gosh, I got to take notes, because you get full access to that platform. And so you can go in and watch those things, and you get access to see those. So you don't need to worry about taking the notes, because it's all
just watch it over again, over and over and over.
Right. And so, and then you also get to ask questions on there, and you get to be a part of a forum on there. So it's so much more involved. I feel like that, it's not shooting a text and waiting for a response to come back. And then it's, where you get on there and go, oh.
Yeah. Cause you might think, at 3 a.m, oh, I really need to know this. Yeah. Well, you can just go on your computer and watch the video at 3 a.m.
And send us a question if you have it, and we'll answer it the next day. Yeah. And it's not, it's not like we're getting a text at 3 o'clock in the morning, or, I mean, we turn our phones off anyway, but still it's that, you have access to us all the time, really. And it definitely has been a fabulous experience for everybody that has done the virtual lessons so far. I've got a couple that are, further away from, local, but further away. Yeah. And, they're even enjoying the lessons, and it's just like I'm there, because I'm, we're seeing everything. So, wireless headphones, some kind of a tripod, some kind of a harness that you can strap your phone to, or hook it on your leg, or, something that will work that way. And then internet connection is really going to be important for that. And I think what the other thing is if you want to go out and have coffee with your dog and your dog's struggling, I can go and log, we can talk. You can use the Wi-Fi at the coffee shop, and I can watch the dog the whole time. And you can even be talking to your friends. Like, you totally go out with your social event, and I'm just in your ears and helping you understand what's happening with your dog. And we can make it, honestly, more real life, because
we're not there physically.
We're not there. Yeah. And so, and there's a lot of, we can go have coffee together, but I'm still there. And it's not a normal, you wouldn't interact with me the same way that you would interact with your friends having coffee. And the dog knows that. And so, there's field trips to go on. And so you just have to have the tools. Internet's the most important.
Yeah, really good internet connection.
Yep. And then we set it up in a platform that you just log on. There's the video, and that is still be dependent upon where you're at. as far as what platform that we log on to and the type of internet access that we have. FaceTime and Skype have been at times delayed a little bit, and that's been a little bit more of a challenge. So it's just finding
what works with everyone's technology that they have.
Yeah. So, but it's been really effective, and I've enjoyed it, and so have the clients have really enjoyed learning that way. So, I would say if you're looking for a dog trainer and you just want to be home and you want to, just be able to log on and schedule an appointment, that we're here. We're ready to rock and roll and start training across the United States. So
yeah,
I think it's a really cool, fun thing that's happening with what we're doing. So, and then we also on our social media have little training tips every week, and you can ask questions that way. So there's just so much that we can offer you with training and being able to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah.
So, definitely look into it and kind of get into the new world of dog training. It's super fun.
We're having fun.
Yeah.